But they've done it. What a start!
Pakistan, a powerhouse of fast bowling since the start of its cricket journey. From Fazil Mahmood to Imran Khan. From the two W's to the Rawalpindi Express. The legacy is carried forward by some of the world's very best. Today's a fiery battle of raw pace and guile. Holding centre stage is Qalandars captain on mission comeback.
Got it! He's finally been done through his legs, has been cutting.
A young tearaway who guns down opponents with speed and swing.
A perfect response from Naseem Shah.
A master of death bowling in a race with the speed gun.
Oh, cleans him up. Yorker specialists.
And a pace ace in red-hot form.
Gone! Wild swing to leg, and the decision from Sarfraz is spot on.
Bowling may grab the headlines, but there are plenty of stars with the bat as well.
Short. Pierces the gap on the boundary.
Both teams slipped in their last game and are looking to regain their winning touch.
Welcome to Karachi, the city of lights, and we're here for another game of the HPL PSL. Quetta Gladiators, after their loss yesterday, will be looking to register their win, and they are up against Lahore Qalandars, who, remember, lost their last game versus Karachi Kings. Multan Sultans still looking really good with those 6 points, but these are the two bottom teams on that leaderboard. Quetta Gladiators have lost 2 games out of the 3 that they've played. Lahore has only played 2, and they've lost 1 and won. Welcome to the pitch side once again. Well, this contest, I'm really looking forward to it because it is the battle of the pace tours. When you look at both sides, there's Mohammad Hasnain, there's Naseem Shah, Haris Rauf and Shaheen Shah, pretty much the makeup of the current Pakistan side. So that's the interesting bit there, and as they say, pace is pace, yaar. Now I've been joined by Arooj Mumtaz and Danny Morrison. Danny's got a big grin on his face with that wonderful opener that he did. Arooj, there's something about pace, you know, like everybody talks about it. I know we talk about skill, I know we talk about execution, but just watching raw pace, it's the most exciting thing of the HPL PSL.
You said it, pace is pace, yaar. There's no two ways about it. It is what spices up the contest. It is what people come out to watch, and it is what actually puts the advantage significantly in the favor of one team. The pace coming down in the form of thunderbolts, as some of what we say, that man on your screen leading the charge on one side, backed by Haris Rauf, and then on the other side, Naseem Shah and Mohammad Hasnain. This is going to be a contest of the paces.
Yeah, Danny, you really build it up in that opener. But, I mean, when you talk about these 4 guys, they would perhaps make it into a World 11 if we were to make it, because that's their quality.
And the variety, Zaini, that's the exciting thing. You've got Shaheen, who's so tall, and the left-handedness, and then you've got the uniqueness that is Haris Rauf, and a great story about him being found. And that's the beauty, I think, about the Pakistan Super League, is that, you know, pace is pace, pace is ace. And it really is good, and it is electrifying. You get the guys that catch up, chat about it, and then you've got the bowlers who ultimately can have a say. We've got about batting stars, and batters can set it up, but again, bowlers more often will win you a whole tournament, really, by something fascinating, whether it's a hat-trick or we've seen here, 2 and 1 over, and again, Amar Wasim, he's a spinner, but he's taken a double wicket maiden. So these guys on show, it's about pace today, but whether you're a spinner or a quick bowler, you make the difference over a whole tournament.
Arooj, you spoke about the maturity of Mohammad Hasnain and how he's evolved, and yesterday he was in sublime form, was on a hat-trick.
He was on a hat-trick, and it was just the way he set up the game for Quetta Gladiators, for Sarfaraz to give him the ball. He picked up 3 wickets for not too many, but his opening spell the thing that he bowled well. He understood the surface and he hit the length from ball 1, and he didn't allow for the Peshawar Zalmi to get away. The ball to Haris, then to Saim Ayub, and this one was the big wicket, and he got that. Again, good catch on the boundary by Naseem Shah, but the control, especially what Naseem and Hasnain have done, and Hasnain also has a story, remodeled action, he's had his share of problems, and to come back is never easy, because you're always in somewhere behind your brain, you're sort of thinking like, what if again? And for him to come back and do what he does was quite spectacular for him and even for Pakistan cricket eventually.
Well, we talk about the pace bowling of Lahore Qalandars. They've also got an ace spinner now available to them. Rashid Khan is back. He has arrived and is available for selection.
Yeah, I believe he landed last night, didn't he? So whether he plays or not, that'll be fascinating. But geez, hard to leave him out because, again, you're going about X Factor, you're going about these paces. But really, this fellow on screen now, the uniqueness of him, these pitches suit him because, he's got that fast arm action. You say, well, any pitch suits him. But anything that's in his favour where it's a little bit dry and it might be a little bit up and down and not quite coming on, too paced, then Rashid Khan, hard to leave out.
He'd be hard to leave out, and all over the world in any given team, if you make an 11 right now, I think Rashid Khan would be the go-to spinner. And why? Because he takes wickets and he's economical as well. Let's have a look at the numbers game. Well, this pretty much tells you a story. Rashid Khan, 55 overs in overs 7 to 15 since 2021. I mean, we often look at Arooj, the power play and what kind of impact certain spinners like to bowl up front, but Rashid Khan has this ability to control the runs in those crucial overs.
And it's a period of the game where the power play is just ended, and he's not the kind of bowler to bowl in the power play, potentially there in the middle to keep a sort of a pressure on things. He doesn't give away too many runs, and like you said, and we spoke about this yesterday, with wrist spinners, they're always your wicket-taking options. But he's not just a wrist spinner. He's got 6 different variations, 3 different googly variations. His arm trajectory is different because he can bowl from on top, he can bowl from almost parallel, and then he turns the ball. And the one thing he's always spoken about is the control of the length. And that's where I think is key for spinners around the world. If you've got control and if you can find your length, which he plays around with some efficiency, no wonder he's one of the best in the world.
Danny, when you have somebody like that, you know, who's got so many weapons up his sleeve in terms of just the variety that he has and immaculate control, like Arooj pointed out. I mean, how do you play him?
Well, a lot of guys have spoken at length in terms of batting stars in recent times that you've got to play him almost like an off-spinner. If you're a right-hander, you've got to play him as an off-spinner, expect it to come back. Bowls a lot of googlies at pace, and he doesn't have to bowl a lot in terms of the other one, the actual leg spin that goes away. He's top spin, and as you mentioned, Arooj, rightly, yeah, those different googlies that come back at different paces and different trajectories. So he's a handful because of that fast arm action as well. So one heck of a talent, and as you rightly said, probably walk into any playing 11 in any franchise around the globe.
Yeah, play him like an off-spinner, but easier said than done. I feel for the batsmen that have to face Rashid Khan, and yeah, that was the numbers game for you. Just on Quetta Gladiators then, Arooj, I mean, they played yesterday. That middle order, you know, they've got somebody like Jason Roy, and a lot has been spoken about how he's lacking form over the last few years. But do you think perhaps they need to do something different in that middle order? Because we saw Kamran Ghulam is there. There are other options. Sorry, not Kamran Ghulam, but I'm saying that they have other options in Quetta Gladiators. Do you think they need to change things up a little bit?
I think not too much just yet. They had a fantastic start with Martin Guptill the other day. He didn't come off. Jason Roy could be a talking point, but he's the sort of player who can win you the game, and it'll take him one good innings to do so. The middle order, as far as I'm concerned, I thought the pitch yesterday was slightly more difficult, and it was just a matter of getting used to the surface. So I don't think they still need to change around too much. They let the game slip away. They let the game slip away yesterday after they set it up. But it was again the runs up front which lacked before them in the power play, and then Iftikhar, what he did towards the end, they were always playing catch up. I still feel they can go with one more game the way they did, and then maybe look to change things around.
They have the likes of Mohammad Hafiz as an option that they can utilize. He can bowl a bit of off spin as well. Remember, he was a last minute sort of add-in into that Quetta Gladiators squad. Now we'll take a short breather, but of course we'll leave you with some Karachi truck art visuals. These visuals are part of the National Amateur Short Films Festival, an initiative to showcase Pakistan's cultural landscape and tourist attractions.
ये दुनिया बहुत खूबसूरत है। मैं भी इन रंगों को देखता हूँ, ये जो असली रंग हैं कुदरत के, और इन रंगों को मैं एक पहचान देता हूँ, एक नाम देता हूँ, जिसे देखने वाले ट्रक गार्ड कहते हैं। सात साल का था जब वाले साहब ने हाथों में ब्रश पकड़ाया। कभी सोचा नहीं था कि लोग इन हाथों को मैजिक हैंड कहें। पंद्रह साल की उम्र में मैंने जब एक मेरी ख्वाहिश थी कि मैंने बड़ा ट्रक बनाना है। बड़ा ट्रक उस टाइम पे बड़े बड़े उस्ताद बनाते थे, तो मौका नहीं मिलता था बड़ा ट्रक बनाने का, तो मैंने बगैर पैसों के बड़ा ट्रक बनाया। तो उसके बाद 2-3 ट्रक और बनाए, तो मुझे एक अंदर जो खुशी थी वो तो हो गई कि मैंने बड़ा ट्रक बनाना था और बनाया। क्योंकि उम्र कम थी तो एक सोच मुनफरिद थी कि क्या करूं, ये तो मैंने बना लिया, अब आगे भी कुछ करना है या मैं ये ट्रक ही बनाता रहूँगा। तो कुदरत का करना ऐसा हुआ कि शेरडन में एक ट्रक मेरा खड़ा था, तो वहाँ पे विस्कॉन्सिन यूनिवर्सिटी के प्रोफेसर थे जोनाथन मार्क किनोयर, तो उनका कहीं चक्कर लगा तो उन्होंने कहा कि अमेरिका चलना है। तो मैंने कहा यार इधर तो बहुत गोरे आते हैं, यही कहते हैं कि वहाँ चलना है वहाँ चलना है। बोले नहीं, हमने ट्रक लेके जाना है। करना ऐसा हुआ कि वो फिर हम लोग ट्रक बनाए, और पहला जो इंटरनेशनल टूर था मेरा वो ट्रक के साथ अमेरिका स्मिथसोनियन म्यूज़ियम, जो दुनिया का बड़ा म्यूज़ियम है, उसमें मैंने वो ट्रक बनाया। कुदरत ने मुझे एक मौका दिया जिससे मैंने इंटरनेशनल तौर पे इस काम को फैलाया। अपने रंगों से, अपने काम के ज़रिए मैंने अपने मुल्क का नाम दुनिया भर में रोशन किया।
Well, we're building up nicely here on the pitch side because it is the battle of the duos from both the sides. Mohammad Hasnain, Naseem Shah, Haris Rauf and Shaheen Shah will be seen in action today. And because we're talking about fast bowling, who better to give us more insight with regards to that? Arooj Mumtaz caught up with Vernon Philander earlier in the day.
the makings of a good, fast, quick bowler. That's what we're going to talk about today. And I've been joined by Vern and Philander alongside. Vern, what are the attributes, what are the key fundamentals of a quick bowler?
Yeah, afternoon, Yurus. For me, it is obviously to expose those natural attributes in a bowler. I think having worked with the Pakistan team, one particular bowler that stands out for me is Shaheen Shah Afridi. I think he swings it at high pace, and that for me is really exposing what he brings naturally to the party. I think let's have a closer look at why he is so effective. Yeah, he's got a beautiful run up, and this is where really he generates his pace from. He's got a good set, and then he clears that left leg to come through. And with the drive of that left leg, he can really get that bowling arm through. And as you can see, he's got a beautiful whoopee action, and that's also where he generates the pace and late swing.
Now, for young boys and girls out there, we've got Vern Philander and we're talking about Shaheen Shah Afridi. Vern, how about you take this ball and just run through some of the key fundamentals or the key, as you build up towards your run-up, what are you looking to do well?
Yeah, I think for me, I almost want to take it backwards. So for me, the big key to have control and the ball with good pace would be a good base to bowl from. So I'm going to cover a couple of technical bits here for me. One is obviously the seam position. Two is that you want to have the drive over that front brace leg. So just a little drill. You can do this at home at your own time. So it's really just to load there and then really drive to the front knee. And repetition, repetition, repetition. You do that and you master that. You can then start bowling a 3-pace run-up. You can then start bowling your normal run-up. But for me, the key to have good pace and control is stability at the crease. And that drill will set you worlds apart.
Just very quickly, once more, if you could just break it down for young boys and girls watching out there, very slowly through your steps.
Yeah, so basically it's a load. So you're there, you load, you keep the pose because that's what gives you stability in your action. And then of course you want to have that snap, and you want to make also sure that your energy, your momentum works towards the wicket keeper.
Well, you've heard from the great man himself, and you have lots of fast bowlers on display to learn from. Hope you can take all of that in.
Yeah, lots to choose from. You look at all the options that we have available in this game, Quetta Gladiators and versus Lahore Qalandars. Aruj, if you were to pick one out of all of them, I know it's really tough, but just in terms of what Vern said, who covers those basics well, out of relatively better, I would say?
I mean, see, all four of them excellent, and Danny mentioned it earlier, they all have various attributes and different skill sets while all being quick. But for me, it has to be Shaheen Shah Afridi. I think he just stands taller above everybody else, and he's proven that in his track record. He's got the pace, he's got the skill, and just the way he impacts the game. So for me, he's just ahead, a cut above the other three.
Would you agree, or do you have a difference of opinion?
No, I do. I think so, because of what Vern stood out for me was that bowling of a brace front leg. A lot of us couldn't do that.
Yeah.
Majority don't. So when you do bowl over a brace front leg, that's where you can derive extra pace from. Now, it doesn't mean you have to, but it does help, and certainly this man on screen does. What I also like about what Vern was on about was that you try and get your feet down quickly. Your back leg landing, stability, and then quickly get your front foot down. A lot of us didn't. We were sort of like 1950s style, big leap, slam the back leg and then extend with the front and smash it down. Whereas if you get the more modern guys, i.e. this century, back leg landing and then quickly with the front one. And so he does that very well. He gets over and your back foot landing, then your front foot landing quite quickly and over that brace front leg. As Uruj was also pointing out, it's just that shade above everyone else.
Yeah.
And he's got height. I mean, everyone goes on about height helps. A lot of us hobbits that didn't. That's why we had a big leap, leaping into your action. So, you had to make up in different ways, but he ticks a lot of boxes.
I think that's what it is. The brace front leg almost acts like a catapult. So you jam it in and you push your entire body through. And like Danny said, the quickest men around have that brace front leg, which they sort of catapult their way through and get bowling fast.
Just on the brace leg, I mean, can you explain to the viewers what exactly is a brace leg? Because I'm sure a lot of people are not well equipped to understand what it is.
Yeah, so that front leg, when you've planted it and then you come over to release the cricket ball, that's straight. It hasn't got a bend in it. It hasn't got hasn't got the big bend in it. It's actually nicely planted and straight. It's not going clunk. So here you go again. So watch that one, that front one there, and then it clicks back. It slightly gives, only I think on this demonstration he slides a bit, does Shaheen with that front foot. And then you see it, look at it, look how braced it is when he gets over his action and through to release the ball.
Yeah, interesting thoughts by Danny Aruj and Vern, who explained it really well. What is important in terms of what are the best attributes that make a fast bowler so good. We'll be seeing a lot of them at display today, but we'll be back shortly with the toss and the pitch report. Moments away from the toss, then we have Quetta Gladiators, and they are taking on Lahore Qalandars today. Both the sides lost their previous games. Lahore obviously against Karachi, and Quetta lost yesterday against Peshawar Zalmi. But you've got to talk about, you know, what changes there will be in today's game. Liam Dawson has been ruled out of the competition. Having said that, we have another spinner in the HBL PSL in the form of Rashid Khan Aruj. I mean, how much is that going to boost their overall lineup?
Tremendously. There's no two ways about it. He's also now got experience of a leader, not just in international cricket but even in franchise cricket, just coming off SA20 where he was leading one of the franchises. So he brings that experience of his into the mix as well. But he's again the sort of bowler who is on top of you all the time, doesn't allow you much time. You're always guessing his variations, and like you said earlier, I mean, you almost feel for the batters up against him. So I think he will be a massive boost for Lahore, who coming off a significantly big loss against Karachi the other day.
Win the toss and bowl first or bat first, Danny?
Well, everyone's going with the bowling first, aren't they? That's the trend. You want to know what you're tracking down.
Right, the bowling first seems to be the favourable option so far that we've seen, despite the fact that certain teams have won batting first, but that seems to be the favourable option because teams are just liking the fact that they have something in front of them. Right, ready with the toss? So let's head over to Nick Knight, who's out there with the two captains.
Yep, thank you very much. Two captains then waiting patiently out of the middle, Sarfraz and Shaheen. They've just been exchanging their teams. They know who's playing now. Rashid Mahanamar is our match referee, conducting authority out here. Good luck, guys. Hope you have a really good evening. I think you've got the coin.
Heads is the call. It is tails.
Bowling kar rahe hain.
Who's doing what?
We will bowling.
Is that because of the dew factor, as we've seen, or what do you make of the surface here?
Looks like a same track. You know, the square is changed, but that looks like a same track. So hopefully we will do as a bowling unit and we restrict them 140 and 50.
When you pick your team, do you look at this surface and how much relevance does it have, or do you just hope that the team you play plays well on this surface?
So definitely we look into the pitch. That's why we make the team. So we're going with the no change. So we're going with the same team.
Yeah, no change. But last night, I mean, the game's come thick and fast for you. Is that good for you that you can get back and bounce back quickly?
Yeah, definitely good for us. I think as a batting unit we come back very good, and hopefully we'll do as a bowling unit as well, inshallah, today.
You talk about your bowling unit, battle of the pacers, isn't it? He's ready to go as well. How pleased are you with your two pacers and how they've been bowling so far?
Yeah, I'm very pleased. You know, the two youngsters is very special. Hopefully they're doing well in the whole tournament.
Okay, good luck.
Thank you.
Right then. So you're going to have a bat first, Shaheen. Thoughts on that?
I think we're also going for bat first. I think our bowling is completely fine now. Rashid is in, replacing Dawson unfortunately is injured. So I think our bowling lining is strong more.
Great to see you back playing as well, and your pacers. I mean, we talk about the battle of the pacers. You've only played a couple of games. Is that quite nice for you that you're rested and raring to go?
Yeah, I think not easy for any fast bowler after 3 months and playing a big event like PSL, and really happy to back in field.
And Rashid Khan back for you. I mean, how important is that for your side?
Really, Rashid is #1 bowler, and for us, he's last year he played really well, and we, as a team, we're very happy to his comeback.
Only a couple of games played, so it's probably too early to ask this question. I'm going to ask it anyway. Are you a little concerned with your batting lineup, or is it too early to worry?
I think it's too early. Just one game, and we'll think about this. And I think this match will be going well.
I thought you'd say that. Good luck. Great to see you back. Okay, Quetta have won the toss. No surprising them with the dew. They're going to have a bowl first. Right then, let's get the word on the pitch then. It is the third time that this pitch is being used in this tournament. Bazid's alongside me. Talk about the pacers. How are they going to go on this surface?
Yeah, you said it, 3 games in what, 7 days time, so you're bound to expect the pitch lose a bit of pace. The fact of the matter is that it still looks pretty good. It's well rolled in, but as we walk down, we search for a blade of grass. There is no grass, but you want to be short of a length. I think Rashid Khan will be key because he loves bowling on such a surface. He'll bowl quickly, he'll bowl into the stumps, and if he gets a millimeter of spin, then he's so difficult.
Is he? And what do you make of this surface? Is he going to get anything out of this surface here, the length he's going to try and pitch it?
I think with the pace of the pitch, he'll get something anyway, but I do think there'll be a bit of spin for him. There'll be something to work with. If he's on song, he'll make it extremely difficult on this surface.
Two sides, let's be honest, haven't really clicked with the bat in hand. How do you try and bat on this surface, bearing in mind what we've seen so far?
Now, look, what we've seen is that because of the ball not coming on, you can't just stand still and hit through the line or hit across the line, basically. So the players that have prospered, Martin Guptill took his time and then hit with a vertical bat. But for that to happen, you need to be quite lucky the bowler's pitching it up, and also you've got to give yourself time. And then when you give yourself time, do you then fall into a trap? Then no, I have to score now. So the balancing act on a pitch that's not brilliant to bat on.
Rather be a batter or a bowler on here?
Fielder.
I knew he was going to be awkward. I knew it. Anyway, wise words of Bazid Khan. Back to you guys.
Bazid, diplomatic as always, not giving an answer, but no surprise, like we said, bowling first seems to be the favourable option. Let's have a look at what teams are playing today. There's only been one change that we've seen from Lahore Qalandars, where you have Rashid Khan coming in. That's the big news of today. Rashid Khan is back for Lahore Qalandars. Quetta Gladiators going pretty much with the same side. I mean, considering the match yesterday, Arooj, that we saw that Quetta came quite close in terms of when they were defending. It was that one bad over by Odean Smith, but they made a match out of it because they have a decent bowling lineup. So no surprises that they've gone unchanged.
I touched on it earlier as well. I don't think they need to panic just yet, but definitely worries with the bat for them. They're batting on top. If they have Jason Roy and Martin Guptill kick off, Sarfaraz promoted himself up, and it was a matter of reacting to the situation because they'd lost the 3 wickets. So Nawaz came up, and then Hafiz and Bangalzai kept slipping down. So it was that sort of a chain reaction. They just need to sort out who fills in at 3, 4, 5. If Roy and Martin Guptill don't kick off. And I think Lahore also in a very similar position. Both of them have really good bowling, but they need to sort out who bats where.
Yeah, and Jason Roy needs to score some runs as well, Danny. We need runs from him. That's the one thing for Quetta Gladiators.
Yeah, and it's not the first time where he's turned up from international duty or come from another franchise tournament and just struggled with the rhythm, just to get his timing right. And look, to be fair, these pitches, they're a little tired. We all know that. We've had so much cricket here in Karachi. So, yeah, he just needs a little bit more time to get going. And as Nick Knight was saying last night on commentary, he just needed one little innings just to kickstart and something clicks for you and there's that freedom back.
It's nice to see a bowler give the benefit of the doubt to a batsman. So well
Very
done
nice.
you. Well done you. Now we can thank Sherlock Holmes. I'm loving the hat. But Sherlock, you got to go and do some commentary. So yeah, we'll take a short break. The news from the centre, you pretty much heard it, is that Quetta Gladiators have won the toss and they have elected to field first. Back on the pitch side show, and one change for Lahore Qalandars. Rashid Khan comes in. Bazid Khan also joins us in the studio. Baz, आज के मैच में आप क्या चीज़, what are you looking forward to? हमने पेसर्स की तो बात की है, वो तो एक obvious सी चीज़ है कि दोनों sides की जो पेसर्स अच्छे हैं, but anything else that you're personally wanting to watch?
मुझे जो लग रहा है, पेसर्स तो आपने बात की है, बॉलिंग दोनों टीमों की, खैर लाहौर कलंदर्स की थी बहुत ही ज़बरदस्त बॉलिंग है, बॉलिंग तो सेटल्ड है, जो बैटिंग है दोनों टीमों की वो ही प्रॉब्लम है. तो मुझे देखना ये है कि कोई ऐसा बैटर जो इन पिचेस पे थ्रू आउट द 20 ओवर्स स्कोर कर सके. ऐसे लगा है कि जैसी पावर प्ले ख़त्म होता है तो बड़ा मुश्किल हो जाता है, बाउंड्रीज नहीं लगती. लाहौर कलंदर्स को मुझे आगे लगता है कि इस टूर्नामेंट में प्रॉब्लम होगी, क्योंकि अगर आप फ़खर ज़मान फॉर्म में नहीं हैं तो बहुत बड़ा प्रॉब्लम आ जाता है टॉप 4 में. शे होप अगर नंबर 4 पे बैटिंग कर रहे हैं तो आपके पास वो प्लेयर नहीं है जो रन्स तेज़ी से चलाएगा, तो ये बड़ा उनके लिए आगे जाके ज़रूर प्रॉब्लम होगा एज द टूर्नामेंट डेवलप्स. इस वक्त मुझे जो देखना ये है कि कौन सा बैटर स्टैंड अप करता है. इस पेज पे मुझे लगता है कि एक ही बैटर जो पूरा लेके चलेगा 20 ओवर्स, जो पूरा ये 18-15 ओवर खेलेगा, उस वजह से बड़ा स्कोर होगा।
Right, we need that them to lift their batting. Both the sides. मोहम्मद हफीज भी है उनके पास ऑप्शन, क्वेटा ग्लैडिएटर्स के पास दूसरी साइड पे भी ऑप्शंस तो काफ़ी हैं। फ़खर ज़मान पे काफ़ी रिलायंस है अभी तक लाहौर कलंदर्स की, सो आई थिंक देर बी होपिंग कि बाकी जो सारे प्लेयर्स हैं दे कैन स्टेप अप। राइट, वी आर टॉकिंग अबाउट स्टार्स एट डिस्प्ले टुडे. मोहम्मद हसनैन इज़ वन स्टार दैट विल बी एबल टू वॉच. बाजिद खान caught up earlier with him.
One of the stars from Quetta Gladiators with that extreme pace. हसनैन, पहले तो आपको मैं काफ़ी पुरानी बात एक याद करवाता हूँ. शाहीन शाह अफरीदी और आप पाकिस्तान अंडर 16 के लिए खेल रहे थे. स्टीव वॉ जो ऑस्ट्रेलिया का मैच वो देख रहे थे अंडर 16 का, उन्होंने बोला कि ये दोनों पाकिस्तान खेलेंगे. आपको याद है वो कमेंट्स?
जी बिल्कुल मुझे याद है. बिल्कुल हम लोग फर्स्ट टूर अंडर 16 का हम लोग ऑस्ट्रेलिया गए थे. वहाँ हमारी बहुत अच्छी परफॉर्मेंस थी और दोनों हम लोग बहुत अच्छा खेल रहे थे, टीम को मैच जितवाए थे. तो उस टाइम ऑस्ट्रेलिया अंडर 16 से स्टीव वॉ के बेटे भी खेल रहे थे, तो वो मैच देखने आते थे. तो उन्होंने उस टाइम हमें हमारे बारे में कमेंट्स दिए थे कि दोनों हमारे जो बच्चे हैं ये दोनों रेडी हैं मैच खेलने के लिए, इनको आप जाएँ पाकिस्तान में नेशनल टीम के साथ इनको मैच खिलाएँ.
और कल की परफॉर्मेंस भी बहुत अच्छी रही. कितने आप खुश थे उस परफॉर्मेंस से, क्योंकि विकेटें आपने टॉप ऑर्डर की ली?
बिल्कुल मैं बहुत एक्साइटेड था. यस्टरडे जैसी परफॉर्मेंस थी और उस टाइम पे बनता था कि हम लोग मैच जीते हैं, बट कुछ सिचुएशन ऐसी हो गई थी कि स्पिनर्स के बॉल मतलब उस तरीके से नहीं हुए ड्यू की वजह से और बॉल गीला हो रहा था. लेकिन ओवरऑल हमारी परफॉर्मेंस देखें तो मतलब हमने सेकंड इनिंग में इससे पिछला मैच भी जीता और यस्टरडे भी ऐसा ही था कि हम लोग मैच जीतने वाले ही थे और एंड टाइम पे मतलब कुछ सिचुएशन ऐसी हो गई जिससे हम लोग मैच लूज़ कर गए. लेकिन उम्मीद है कि आज जो मैच है तो इंशाल्लाह जो गलतियाँ हुई हैं वो गलतियाँ दोबारा नहीं होगी और हम इंशाल्लाह अच्छा कमबैक करेंगे.
आपको अपना एक्शन रीमॉडल करना पड़ा, काफ़ी मुश्किल टाइम होगा आपके लिए. उसमें आपका साथ किसने दिया और किसने आपकी सबसे ज़्यादा सपोर्ट की और हेल्प की?
जब मेरा एक्शन बैन हुआ तो रीमॉडलिंग करने के लिए मैं नेशनल एकेडमी गया था. वहाँ पर मेरे साथ काम कर रहे थे उमर रशीद और सकलैन मुश्ताक, तो इन दोनों ने काफ़ी हेल्प की है मेरी. उमर भाई मेरे साथ लगे रहते थे नाइट्स में, हम 2-2 3-3 सेशन करते थे एक दिन में और काफ़ी मतलब उसमें स्ट्रगल किए न्यू एक्शन को लेके, क्योंकि ज़ाहिर है अगर किसी के ऊपर मतलब क्रिकेट खेलते हुए ऐसी सिचुएशन आ जाए तो इंसान गिव अप कर जाता. लेकिन उस टाइम पे मेरा ये था कि मैंने गिव अप नहीं करना और इंशाल्लाह जल्द से जल्द कमबैक करना है. उसके लिए हार्ड वर्क भी किया बहुत और अल्हम्दुलिल्लाह उसके बाद जैसे मैं क्लियर हुआ तो फ़ौरन टीम में आ गया.
कभी उस दौरान आपको ऐसे लगा कि शायद मेरी पेस कम हो जाएगी, शायद जो मेरा एसेट है, जो मेरी पेस है, वो इस पे इफेक्ट आ जाएगा?
नहीं, बिल्कुल ऐसा बिल्कुल भी नहीं लगा कि मैं अपनी पेस खो दूंगा, ऐसा कुछ भी नहीं था. बस मेरे अंदर ये बिलीफ था कि मैं अपना एक्शन क्लियर कर लूँगा और उसके बाद जब वापस आऊँगा तो मैं वैसे ही होऊंगा जैसे मेरे पास पहले पेस थी. क्योंकि मैं उस टाइम सोचता था कि पेस जो है वो मेरे पास नेचुरल है, क्योंकि शुरू से मैं 140 प्लस बॉल करता हुआ आ रहा हूँ. इवन जब मैं छोटा था अंडर 16 वगैरह तब से मैं तेज़ कर रहा हूँ, तो मैं ये सोचता था कि मेरे पास पेस है. बस ये है कि जो मेरे अंदर गलतियाँ हैं वो मैं जल्द से जल्द ख़त्म करूँ और कम बैक करूँ.
आपका T20 का आगाज़, आपको पहली विकेट पे आपको ले जाता हूँ. पहली विकेट अगर आपको याद हो तो वो थी फ़खर ज़मान. आप उस प्रकार याद है या वो अभी तक आपको विकेट याद रहती है?
यस, बिल्कुल याद है मुझे. मेरा फर्स्ट मैच था अगेंस्ट लाहौर कलंदर और फ़खर ज़मान की मतलब मेरी पहली विकेट थी PSL की और वहाँ से ही मुझे मतलब एकदम हाईलाइट हुआ, दुनिया में मतलब जानने लगे लोग के हसनैन है. तो मुझे बिल्कुल वो याद है, पहली विकेट मेरी फ़खर ज़मान को मैंने आउट किया था.
चलें, थैंक यू वेरी मच एंड गुड लक.
थैंक यू सो मच.
अरूज, आपकी प्रेडिक्शन काफी अच्छी जा रही है अभी तक. कौन जीतेगा बताएं?
क्वेटा ग्लैडिएटर्स.
क्वेटा ग्लैडिएटर्स,
लाहौर कलंदर्स.
लाहौर कलंदर्स. ये तो मुझे लग रहा है आपकी थोड़ी सी बायस आई है. बड़े इन्होंने विद अ ह्यूज स्माइल ऑन हिज फेस. पर विल हैव टू सी कि कौन जीतता है. ये चीज़ ज़रूर है कि दोनों साइड जो है अगर लीडर बोर्ड पे देखें तो बॉटम पे ही हैं, तो जीतने के लिए तो दोनों आ रही होंगी. बिकॉज रिमेंबर द टॉप 4 टीम्स क्वालिफाई फॉर द प्लेऑफ्स. एक चेंज हुआ है उनकी तरफ से, राशिद खान कम्स इन विच इज़ गोइंग टू बी ह्यूज. एंड जैसे कि बाजिद ने कहा हल्की सी स्पिन हुई तो ही विल बी इवन मोर लीथल. ऑलराइट, ऑन दैट नोट विल टेक अ शॉर्ट ब्रेक and when we do come back we'll be here for all the live pictures. Don't go anywhere.